This is the closing market report for Friday on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. On the phone right now with Bill Moore of Price Futures Group as we wrap up another day in the ag marketplace. Bill, what have we seen going on in the grain and livestock markets today to end off this week?
Well, the market's recovering a little bit from yesterday's key reversal. Yesterday, the corn market rallied almost a dime after making new lows for the move. That was significant, and today it's lost a little bit because energy prices were lower, but still maintained most of yesterday's gain. Same thing with the bean market. Beans were up hard yesterday, almost 20 cents, just a little bit lower today. Market, I think, is trying to carve out a low. It's had a big break due to the very benign weather we've had. Also, the drop in energy prices, some $30 drop in the crude since the beginning of the Iran war. The war seems to be settling out now, hopefully. So those two things drove the corn down 70 cents, beans down, I think, about $1.30. And I think it's created some good export demand with this break. Plus, the exports in corn have been good anyway. We do have a heat wave coming next week. We've had one in Europe for a few days, so it's hurting their crops. And this heat wave next week in the U.S. could impact our crops if it lingers. And there's a government report next Tuesday, the last day of the month, June 30, at 11 o'clock. That's also the end of the month, the end of the quarter. So I think that led to the rally yesterday, the short covering we had rally yesterday. So we'll see how that report comes out. It's a final acres for the 2026 crop and then the quarterly stocks. Exports have been good right along. Yesterday, a good example. Inspections, sales came out 1.36 million metric tons in beans and 1.40 million metric tons in corn. Those are very good numbers. U.S. and China are going to meet again in July 10th in Beirut, in Beijing, that is, and that maybe will kickstart the China's buying program. There's rumors that Argentine oil seed workers might go on strike. This would push demand to the U.S. And I think all this and the chart action, I think, is positive for this market basing out. We've had, the hard 70-cent break in corn, but the market this month is mostly consolidated and hasn't extended that down. I think it's coiling for a move up off demand, and the same with beans. The bean market had a $1.30 break, as I said, but for the month of June, it's been congesting in about a 30-cent area, I think, preparing for a move higher when the China demand kicks in, very possibly after this meeting in July. So the markets seem to be preparing for a demand bull starting soon and moving through most of the summer. The livestock market has not really changed. The cattle market has been beneficiary of this screwworm issue. The market, even though it's a little lower today, has rallied hard for the month of June from 235 all the way up to 250. And the cattle fundamentals are good anyway, with tight supplies and solid demand, even at record levels. And this just enhanced those fundamentals. So I think the market continues to want to move higher. The consumer has not been balking at these record prices, even with the pork alternative so cheap. And sadly, the pork market continues to languish off its lows. Just can't move off the dime. Pretty amazing with the cost-conscious consumer ignoring the cheap pork in favor of the expensive beef cuts. But that's been the case. And as they say, many days, you can take the cattle chart, which is right off its highs, turn it upside down, you have the hog chart. Eventually, that's going to change, and the consumer will opt for the pork, but it sure hasn't happened yet.
All right, Bill, lots of great information today. For anybody who'd like to get in touch for more marketing information and check out your newsletter, how can they do that?
630-947-5176, wmore@pricegroup.com. Check out my newsletter, Agmaster, or www.pricegroup.com, the company website. Look at the bios of Jack Scoville and myself. We've both been here a long time. We'd love to help you out.
That again was Bill Moore of Price Futures Group. We'll look at the numbers next.
Alabama, live in concert. Friday, August 21st, 8 p.m., Iowa State Fair Grandstand. some mountain
with special guest Exile.
like Grandma and Grandpa.
Alabama Live.
Roll on highway, roll on along, roll on daddy till you get
Reserve tickets on sale now through iowastatefair.org.
You gotta have a fiddle in the band.
Alabama.
At the close, July corn down 2 even at 4.12 3/4. December new crop down 1 1/2 at 4.41 1/2. July soybeans down 1 1/4 at 11.26 1/4. November new crop down 3/4 cent at 11.56 1/4. July soybean meal down $1.20 at 3.07 even. July soybean oil up 49 cents at 71.30. Chicago wheat down 12 3/4 at 5.78 1/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 9 1/2 at 6.11 even. Minneapolis spring wheat down 11 3/4 at 5.75 1/2. July oats up 3 even at 2.76 3/4. On the Merc, August live cattle down $1.40 at 245.82. August feeders down 3.45 at 369.85. July lean hogs up 22 cents at 92.92. Pork cutout went unchanged at 115 even. And July Class 3 milk up a penny at 15.72. That's been a check of the closing market prices. Thanks again to Bill Moore of Price Futures Group for joining us today here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. I'm Riley Smith.